hits home, Nat tries that for lifestyle around the city, and Rebound Rundown for college hoops. This city deserves its crown. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Midday in the Queen City, business is booming, making AI moves, but this time in the sunlight. And Cincinnati getting baked, past and present. Let's do lunch. Cincinnati is a city that means business. Fortune 500 company HQs,
renowned institutions like Children's Hospital and the Cincinnati Zoo, and letters that everyone here knows: TQL, GE, CVG, UC, and X. It's also a city that's large enough for new ideas to take root and grow. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and you're in business. I'm Jack Crumley, and this is The Working Lunch.
Hello, welcome to The Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley. This is our hour-long business show here on The Crown, where we bring you headlines about the activities of local companies. We bring you exclusive interviews with CEOs and local leaders. We also try to squeeze in a bite to eat, maybe something to drink before you go back to face the afternoon. Got some good news on that front today. Happy Friday. Glad you're here. Cincinnati business headlines, presented by First State Bank, built on belief and committed to doing right by our communities. First State Bank offers checking, savings, and mortgage services all from your phone. They believe in this community and they believe in you. Visit FSB4me.com. That's First State Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Got another data center update for you to kick things off. Wilmington City Council had a special meeting last night about the $4 billion Amazon data center that has been proposed for the Kozler Farm property. People who live in the area, many of them, say that council's been making moves in the dark. They filed suit about that back in April, and a federal judge ordered the city to revise some of the ordinances that had been passed, that the judge says were passed in violation of open meeting laws, sunshine laws. Our friends at Fox 19 were at that meeting last night, where Wilmington City Council passed an emergency ordinance on noise. That passed 6-1. The bigger deal, though, was a rezoning ordinance that needed at least 75% support. That failed last night, so City Council going to have to take that up again next month. In terms of IT expansion, there's a company called Kinetics that is based in Blue Ash. That's a global IT service provider, and it's making plans. It announced last week that Kinetics is creating a strategy and transformation office to accelerate company innovation, focusing on strategic planning, business transformation, and long-term growth. Seems like they are concerned about growth, but trying to make sure it's managed in the right way. The company says this new office is starting its work immediately. Kinetics got into Blue Ash just last year. I got in touch with Blue Ash city leaders about what this means. Blue Ash Economic Development Director Dan Johnson told me the addition of this new office is something the city is proud to celebrate, saying that Kinetics' growth and innovation has been impressive to watch. Kinetics just yesterday announced a partnership with a company called Verkada. That's a leader in AI-powered physical security and operations. And we are going to Kentucky for some restaurant news today. The Wayfarer Tavern, you can see it there. That's in Dayton, Kentucky. It has been quietly, maybe not so quietly, making a bit of a name for itself in just the last year. It's one of those if you know places. The Inquirer's Keith Pandolfi got it on the USA Today list of best pizzas in America, showcasing specialty pies like the Pickle Power and Korean corn cheese. Link NKY is reporting that Wayfarer is planning on bringing back its pizza collaboration series, and you know we love a good collab here at The Working Lunch. A new collab pizza going to be coming out every week between Wayfarer and other restaurants. That starts next week with a collab with Mid-City right here in Over the Rhine. Other notable restaurant pairings are going to include the OTR French restaurant Colette. That's coming out in late September, and the not even open yet Yodi from the Quan Hapa folks. That's opening. The collab's coming out in October. I believe that's when Yodi's not going to open for a while after that. That's all extremely cool. Planning a little restaurant road trip for some of those Wayfarer collabs. One other thing, Wayfarer got called out by Food and Wine in a piece that is titled, "Cincinnati is so much more than chili." It's 2026. I appreciate the acknowledgement. Food and Wine ran a really nice piece on a bunch of different restaurants here in town, but we know that Cincinnati is more than just chili, and I would think that a lot of other places do too. Thank you for the headline. Thank you for the story, Food and Wine. Maybe do a little headline tweaking next time. Jack's Big Bite is where we focus on one particular story or topic in our community, a community we believe in with our partners at First State Bank. Stop into one of their local branches or visit online at fsb4me.com to access all the helpful tools and services at First State Bank, built on belief and committed to doing right by our communities. For today's Big Bite, presented by First State Bank, we've got the owner of Best Side Cookies, Courtney Kramer, coming on the show today. She is a small business owner who specializes in, as you might imagine, cookies, specifically made-to-order cookies. And so we wanted to go through the Cincinnati area's rich history of businesses in the baking industry. Going to start here with some historical news. First up, the Streetman Biscuit Company. That is the Streetman building today. Streetman Center right there at the corner of 12th and Central Parkway in Over the Rhine. And it was built in the late 1800s when that corner was West 12th at the Miami-Erie Canal, the Rhine that people were going over to travel in this city. The Streetman Biscuit Company made cookies, crackers, and more with its factory on that corner, and it kept adding on to the structure as time went on and success grew. In the 1920s, it became a regional division of United Biscuit Company. 20 years after that, the business moved to Marymount, which had only been around as a village for a few years at that point. That business history got intertwined with Keebler as another regional baker by the 60s. But you will recognize some Streetman brands such as Zesta Saltines. They started back in 1926 and became Keebler's national brand after the merge. The Zesta was chosen as a name in a winning entry in a contest held by Streetman. Joseph Rosenthal of Cincinnati won $100 for entering the name Zesta. That would be about $2,000 nowadays. Another historic baking company in the area was Suregood Biscuit out of Oakley. Suregood started in the 20s and produced cookies and more under its Suregood products label. It also made Hanover pretzels. It produced Chi-Chi's tortilla chips and Skyline oyster crackers for a while. They also made the local favorite Mama's cookies. Friend of the show, Josh Sneed, through his Cincy Shirts company, commemorated Mama's cookies with that local favorite. Suregood was acquired by the North American arm of Parmalat Finanziaria. Let's try that again. Parmalat Finanziaria. That is a really easy word to say. That acquisition was made in 1999. They stopped selling Mama's cookies somewhere along the line in there. When it comes to local bakery traditions that are still part of Cincinnati culture, hit it. Ooh, boy, that video is a mood setter. Joseph Buskin was taught how to bake by his father, Clem, and he moved from Oklahoma back to Cincinnati right as the Roaring '20s were about to start. He got a small grocer in East Hyde Park to put a bakery into the store. He borrowed $500 from a relative and started making bread and cookies with a plan to bake all night and sell all day. The company ultimately bought a failed grocery store at the corner of Madison and Edwards. You might recognize that intersection when it comes to Buskin. Made it a huge bakery that could supply more than a dozen of their satellite locations. Mortgaged the family land in Indian Hill to do it. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is. By now, Joseph Jr. and his brother Paige were in the mix of the company. The brothers added locations in the 70s, added restaurant options in the 80s, and with the birth of the internet, Buskin started doing worldwide distribution. Joe Buskin's grandsons, Dan and Brian, took the reins in the early 2000s, as Buskin Bakery is among the 10 to 15% of companies that thrive into the third generation of family ownership and control. One other local bakery favorite that's tied deeply into Cincinnati's German roots Now, the name may sound Italian, but Servati stems from Servatius, patron saint of the city gate in Munster. Wilhelm Gottenbusch came to the U.S., arriving in Cincinnati in 1957. He was a staff sergeant in the Army and the head of kitchens at Fort Knox. In 1963, he opened his first bakery, a one-man shop on Observatory Avenue in Hyde Park, right next to where Carl's Deli stands today. And then Gary and Greg Gottenbusch, Wilhelm's sons, both apprenticed in Germany, earning their journeyman status. Greg in pastry, Gary in baking. And Gary, like his father and grandfather before him, earned his master baker certification in 2001. Today, Greg runs day-to-day Servati business, and Paul, his nephew, is now the head night baker and is learning the family business as of just the last couple of years. There are so many through lines in these companies, many of them started by immigrants, bringing their culture here, connecting people with culture through food, setting up multi-generational family businesses, and balancing the industry of baking and pastries, low ingredient costs, high labor expenses, and normally pretty tough hours like bake all night, sell all day. Healthy retail operators in the baking business typically hit a 10 to 14% profit margin. Bakeries fit into that labor of love category. And we've got a small business owner running her own small batch baking business. We're going to talk with Courtney Kramer of Best Side Cookies when we come back. You're watching The Working Lunch on The Crown. Here's some stocks of local interest for you. It's a big Friday trading session. Looking forward for more. Stick around.
This Cincinnati has felt like home since day one.
James Rapine, Jacob Tissett,
Paul Fritz, Jack Crumley.
The wait is over.
The Working Lunch.
Built for this city.
What is The Crown? It's simple, really. Authentic Cincinnati entertainment. Not hot takes from a studio 3 states away. Not national noise pretending to know this city. Rather, bringing a voice to those who call the Queen City home. Where can I watch The Crown shows? Join us live from 7 to 11 a.m. for First Word and 12 to 1 for The Working Lunch on RESN. No live TV? No problem. Stream and interact with all of our content on major podcast, broadcast, and streaming platforms. The Crown is Cincinnati. Loud, passionate, competitive, proud. From early morning sports debates to the business leaders shaping the riverfront, to the fans, stories, moments, and culture that make this place move. Live shows, podcasts, documentaries, digital content built from Cincinnati, for Cincinnati. This is The Crown.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well, and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
Welcome back to the Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley. Very excited on this Friday show to bring my guest in. Courtney Kramer is the founder and owner of Best Side Cookies, local baker doing small batch custom stuff. And we got to open with a shot of what you brought in. I'm so touched by this. You did some custom cookies for us here. They're gorgeous looking. They've got different show logos all over them, and I know we'll be cutting to a shot of that very shortly here. There we go. Look at that. There it is. You can see the Working Lunch logo on there. We've got the Nat Jones Show. You did the Crown logo. Nat tries that. First word, rebound, rundown. That's very impressive. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
How much work does making cookies like that take?
Oh, it really depends. There are some that are a little bit easier, and I think as you continuously make them, it gets a little easier every time, but they are a labor of love. They take a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's not just the baking, it's the color creation, the color matching, doing the designs and making sure that they're perfect. And then they always take about 12 to 20 hours to dry. So
oh, yeah, sure.
You have to really factor in a lot of things.
Are you doing like color combinations with the food coloring and the dye and everything and all that with in the frosting?
Yeah, so I actually went to school for art, so I know a lot about color theory. So there's actually there's science in baking, and there's art, and there's color theory, and there are so many things that you combine to get that end result.
Yeah, doing this, running a business, doing baking, and having it be a custom artistic thing like that really is at the center of like science and artistry, and then math and economics and business. That's those are a lot of different paths of thinking to have to juggle.
Yeah, I could do without the math part, but it's all a part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, you got to measure your cups of flour and your teaspoons of baking powder and all that, right?
Yeah. I always tell people the baking part is the science, and you really can't stray from it because it's all a chemical reaction in the oven. So you have to make sure that you follow your recipe to a T to get that end result, that perfect cookie at the end.
Yeah, those of us that just like to cook dinner, we tend to stay away from baking because it's difficult and it is a science and it's so exact. At least if you got like chicken in a pan, you can cut some corners and that's good enough.
You can play with it a lot more.
So how did you start Best Side Cookies? What was the motivation behind starting this?
Yeah, so I went to school for art, like I said, and I ended up working in weddings for a while, and then I ended up in finance. And then
Hold on, that's what a wild swing.
Yeah, a little bit of a little side quest there that I took in finance. I was a stockbroker, and I was actually about to become a supervisory sales principal. And I went on maternity leave with my second son, and I told my husband, I was like, I just don't think that I can go back to work because this, once you have kids, they become your first priority and everything else gets so much harder. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of talking about the possibility of me not going back to work, but we were really just playing with the idea. And my son, my newborn at the time, had reflux. And he was a very sad baby, and it was very, very stressful. Yeah. He's great now.
Okay, good.
But it was
Apple
very...
cider vinegar?
Yeah.
Go on.
No, it was very stressful. And one day I just got it in my head. I used to watch cookie decorating videos when I was studying for my finance exams, because those are extremely hard exams. They're very stressful, and I would kind of just decompress with them. So one day I was like, what if I made them their baptism cookies? And I just decided I was going to do it. It was going to help me create, flex my creative muscles and kind of de-stress a little bit. And I made the cookies, and I was like, I'm doing this. I think I found my next path in life. So that's sometimes I don't know how we got here.
I think it's so impressive. But so there's an interesting pivot on that, though, right? You were, first of all, going to school for art, and then getting involved in stocks and taking tests and working toward being a principal on things. That's a lot of work right there. And then to pivot into, making cookies as like a hobby would be one thing, but you've got a website set up and are selling cookies that you make, and then also taking custom orders like that. That's a big pivot. What made you want to make it a business as opposed to, I'll just make cookies for fun?
Really, I just wanted to have the flexibility to be able to decide what I wanted to do with each day, to be able to say, yeah, I have to put in 8 hours of work today, but I can decide when I can do that. And I can be here for my kids when they need me, but then I can, also get the work done. And I love that I finally have a job now where I'm flexing those creative muscles, because that's always been a calling that I've had as an artist.
Yeah, of course, and it feels good to do that.
Yes.
I know we've got some pictures that I grabbed off of your website, between your website and your Instagram, some really delicious looking stuff and impressive looking stuff. Right there is the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes, I really wanted the cookies to evoke like a sense of nostalgia, because I just remembered baking with my grandpa every Saturday, and we would first wake up, we'd make breakfast, and we'd watch cartoons. And I like that all of my names kind of give you a little sense of childhood.
Yeah. So there were Saturday morning cartoons, and then I think there's a milk and cookies there. Now that is gorgeous looking. Now, is it all sandwich stuff that you do?
Most of them. I also have a s'mores cookie. It's a chocolate chip cookie that's stuffed with s'mores. I have the confused cookie, which is a cookie inspired by the brewery 13 Below.
Okay.
It's kind of a bar snack infused chocolate chip cookie with butterscotch, pretzels, potato chips. So
wow, like a savory
really,
sweet thing.
Yeah. So a lot of them are sandwich cookies, but I like to try to play around with different ideas and flavors.
In terms of the business of it, you're selling on the website and you're taking custom orders. How is that working lucratively? How far out are you planning with ingredients and materials? And do you live in fear of getting some big order that somebody reaches out to you on Instagram about?
Not really. My husband and I tend to go to Sam's Club probably twice a month now, and I just stock up a whole cart, and we bring everything home, and I have 100 pounds of flour in my house at all times.
Sure.
But that way I'm not worried about ever running out. And I've never had an issue where anything has been sitting around going bad. So we go through it pretty fast.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, there's no time. Because how frequently are you getting custom orders?
Generally weekly.
Okay.
So.
And I know we've got some pictures of some of your custom work that I think is really impressive. Outside of the show logos you did, those are Cinco de Mayo themed cookies, right? That is incredibly impressive work right there. And those are cookies.
Yeah.
I just want to talk.
Don't they seem like they wouldn't taste like cookies?
No, I know, and that's and the idea. Honestly, the idea of a margarita cookie is something that I hadn't considered before, but that's now firmly in my brain. This is great, with a Halloween countdown kind of thing that I found that you posted. This is really intricate work. Can you remember back to when you made those? Okay. The amount of time and effort of design, and then is there a test phase before you're making the cookie?
Not really a test phase. These ones were a little bit easier, the Halloween ones, because I kind of have an idea of how those designs work already from past orders. Those were actually kind of easy.
Really? Why were those easier?
It was just a lot of white and then drawing.
Okay.
So
the Cinco de Mayo cookies were trickier because of all the different colors. I saw you had tiny little colors in for the taco toppings. Look at that. That's very intricate work. And so you got the design phase, and then you're baking. How many batches do you need to prep before you're okay, I feel good in actually making the real thing?
When it comes to... I make the cookies, and they're basically like they're ready to go.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You don't ever need to worry about, all right, let's try again and start from scratch.
Maybe with like a really hard design, but I can't think of one right now. I'm sure there's been one along the way somewhere.
Yeah. My other question was going to be, can you remember what the hardest, most complicated design you've ever been asked to make?
I recently had one, I think it was just last week, a Cento tomato can with like flowers. It was for a bridal set. And it was the tomato sauce can with flowers and tomato plants growing out of the top of it. But I actually hand painted the Cento logo on there and watercolored the logo and the tomatoes and everything. And that can be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple start overs on that one.
Yeah. Not on that one, but I did once watercolor Joe Burrow on a cookie. That one, I think, that was just for fun, and I don't know how much fun I had doing it. It was pretty difficult.
That was just like a fun little challenge for yourself.
I learned a little bit along the way.
So that's the custom stuff, and then, talking about the sort of quote-unquote regular cookies that are still gorgeous looking that you have on the website, is that something, you're not keeping them in stock, you're making them fresh and selling them out as people order them?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, yeah. And are you getting regular orders on that too?
Well, we sell the gourmet cookies at Sailor Park Pizza and at 13 Below, so those are regularly selling. I haven't had quite as many orders lately of the sandwich cookies. I did bring some today if you guys would like to try some.
Well, you got everybody in the room sticking their hands up.
Yeah, they're really delicious, and I was actually selling those pretty frequently, and then last October hit, and I think the holidays just... Everybody wanted Halloween cookies, Thanksgiving, Christmas, obviously, and I think everybody just kind of forgot about the gourmet cookies. So I'm trying to bring them back a little bit now that I'm ready to tackle both at the same time.
Yeah, right. And so the idea that maybe things are a little bit seasonal. There's maybe certain times a year where people are more interested in the custom stuff.
Yeah, but those, the sandwich cookies are great for birthdays, taken to the office maybe instead of donuts, just dessert one night for movie night, something like that. There's always an occasion, right?
Yeah, there's never a bad time to want to eat a cookie. Courtney Kramer is the founder and owner of Best Side Cookies. I think, are we doing a little bit of decorating when we come back?
Yeah.
So real quick, before we go, these are the cookies that you made for the Cincinnati Open.
Yeah.
They're incredible. Seriously, that's extremely talented work. The tennis balls look like they have a texture on them, like they're fuzzy.
They do, yeah.
That's really outstanding. I can't even draw with crayons and a piece of paper, let alone frosting.
Practice, trust me.
Well, we're gonna find out apparently. Stick around. We've got Courtney Kramer from Best Side Cookies. More Working Lunch coming up after this.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Bachelor Tractor.
Okay, who are you?
Well, you have a First State Bank checking account, so you'll be getting cash back whenever you use it.
Oh.
Open a checking account at First State Bank for cash back. First State Bank, built on belief.
How did you get in here?
Every morning, Cincinnati wakes up and gets to work. Companies are built, deals are made, restaurants open, ideas become careers, and every day the people behind it all sit down at the working lunch. Founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, community leaders, the people building Cincinnati. The Working Lunch with Jack Crumley, weekdays, noon to 1, only on The Crown.
On the radio here in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has always felt like home.
Right here on the Crown Network.
Out and about in Cincinnati, bringing you these stories that you need to hear in the Queen City.
Welcome back to the Working Lunch. All right, here we go. I was told that we were going to be doing some cookie eating, but this is going to be a little bit of a work in progress, so to speak. This is Courtney Kramer of Best Side Cookies, and she's got some gorgeous cookies here to show us off. These are some of the more, the regular gourmet cookies. I don't mean to say regular, but these aren't the custom jobs.
Yeah.
This is what you do on a regular basis when people are looking to get cookies. I got some gorgeous custom options here, and we're going to be, you got me making something?
Yeah, we're going to decorate some Halloween cookies. I decided to go with the Halloween theme because, like you just said, it's Summerween.
Summerween.
And we need to all start thinking about what we're going to be doing in October. It's not very far away.
That's right. Yeah, it's Summerween now, and it will be Decemberween in a couple of months after
Exactly.
that. So we're going to get ready. This is how we're starting things off. This is the blank canvas, if you will. And for everybody watching and looking to see, all right. So. Show me what you do. Show me what you do first.
So when we do cookie classes, I try to always have one cookie that we can do a little bit more easily. It's just a flood cookie. That's what we call it when we just put the icing down, and it's not intricately designed.
Okay.
So for this, we're going to use our white for our ghost. When I decorate the cookie, I touch down with the icing and then lift up. This is really scary when you're new, so don't feel bad.
I'm very scared. Oh boy. All right. Well, we're already off to. All right, we're doing okay. And my sleeve's getting caught. All right, that's fine. We're filling that in. All right. Well, this is compelling. I'm sure everybody's rooting for me right now. I'm going too fast because the icing is like curling up, but I think that's kind of an artistic choice that I'm making for this. This is, because, oh boy, look how nice, you have nice, all right,
I
well.
have a little bit more practice than you.
I know,
it's
and my
okay.
hand's really shaky right now because my blood sugar's all screwed up from the idea that I've got all these cookies around me right now.
So once we have the outline done, we can go in and flood the cookie. For that, you're gonna squeeze the bag a bit harder.
Heavier squeeze, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're just coloring it. This is coloring.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to stay inside the lines.
Now, like with this white icing here, is this something that you're making as a custom color, or can you just buy like a stock white icing with this?
Yeah, all of my icing is made from scratch.
You're kidding me.
It's better that way, because that way you really know what you have.
Well, and in terms of like the texture and the way it sits up, right? You don't have to worry about it getting dry or anything like that because you just made it.
Exactly. So on busy weeks when I have, we use the scribe tool.
Yeah, what is it? What do you do? You're giving it a little swirl?
Yeah, I do just like little circular motions to just kind of like marry all that icing together and make it one solid.
We'll show. I think we probably just need to show how good I'm doing so far to compare, folks. This is real good, and yours is, it's fine. You're doing okay.
Yeah. You know, I could use some practice.
Swirling around. Okay, so we're marrying, just making sure everybody's all getting along here on the ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll usually have one of these cookies in class so that you can just kind of get used to flooding a cookie first before we get into anything more intricate.
That makes sense.
But now that we have him done, he's not quite done. He could use some eyes and a mouth, but we want to wait because this should set up a little so that the black icing doesn't just melt down into the white.
Sure.
That's why I also brought 2 cookies here, 2 of the jack-o'-lanterns, to show you the first steps of the jack-o'-lantern and then the end steps, because we won't really have time to wait for it.
This is excellent planning. When did you start doing the classes in addition to just making the cookies?
We started classes last December at 13 Below. We started doing Christmas classes. We did 2. They were really popular. So we came back for Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July.
How's the response on that been?
It's been amazing. Yeah. Everybody's been really excited about it. And I love them. I love to get to see all the people that come to class and encourage them.
All right, I'm watching how you're doing this. It's no problem. I got this no sweat. It's fine.
So I give it a little bit of a curve there in the middle so that it can give the illusion of like a 3D pumpkin.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Great minds think alike,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah. Okay. Coming along, no problem. We're drawing the outline first, and then we're going to flood it, right?
Yeah.
That's the technical term?
Yes, and I did, it's okay. I forgot to start with the background. So normally we would take this black icing and scrape it down onto the cookie, and then we would add a little bit of glitter and then add the face. I forgot to do that.
Well, that's okay, because I would never have known otherwise.
But that's all right, because we have this cookie here anyways. But then you would just flood the outsides.
Yeah. Do you ever get people that just, like, even in the most basic situation, like what I'm trying to do right here, just completely miss the boat?
I wouldn't say miss the boat. I always tell people we come to cookie class to have fun.
Right.
So I want you to leave feeling like you had a great time. Yeah. And if you think I never want to do this again, that's great for me, because you can ask me to do your cookies instead. Right?
Listen, that sounds like a win-win, which is a heck of a business model. That's that's an excellent idea. Yeah, I mean, you don't want anybody doing like cookie bullying, right?
Yeah. I love cookie class. There's so many people. We've had, kids in cookie class. We've had 90-year-olds. We've had ALS warriors, stroke survivors. Everybody is welcome, and my only hope is that everybody has a good time.
Yeah.
And I always tell people at the end of the day, the cookie's going to taste the same. So you're still going to have a good treat at the end.
No, it tastes better if you do a good job. And that's what I'm desperately trying to do here. Oh, see, my flooding situation. I need to get some more
icing.
We gotta
you want it to be pretty thick.
Open up the dam and let it flood a little bit more here. Okay, no problem. Is this orange icing? It looks kind of like a carrot. Do you have is there like any carrot flavoring in here?
No.
Not for a pumpkin, obviously.
This is cream cheese flavored. There's not actual cream cheese in it, so it's shelf stable, but it's cream cheese flavored.
Well, how do you make cream cheese flavoring?
I use emulsions, which are kind of like extracts, but they're stronger.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, obviously. Emulsion means that involves like an egg, right?
So I don't make the emulsions, I buy them, but I think they're just a mixture of, I think an emulsion can just be a mixture of 2 things.
Okay.
Well, you're asking me hard questions here.
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm just, I can't possibly rest my hopes on the idea that people are going to be compelled with the work that I'm doing in the realm of cookie decoration here. It's going okay, it's fine, but I think I did a better job on the ghost.
The ghost looks great.
The ghost looks great.
They're both great.
Well, they're both great, and you know what? Like you said, they're going to taste the same either way.
Exactly.
Okay. So moving on here, you've got you're doing your the green now, so we can get the stem.
Yeah, we can go ahead and start the stem. So the reason that I'm kind of moving in sections here is because we want these sections to all dry separately. We want them all to dry separately so that they are defined. If we did them all together, everything would just kind of melt together and become one big glob. But at this point, after we do our stem, we can also, you can do your stem.
Oh gosh, yes, thank you. I couldn't, it's not a pumpkin without the stem.
Right. At that point, that one should be a little bit easier because that's a pretty runny icing.
Yeah, that worked out okay.
Yeah. And then again, you can move that around with your scribe to kind of meet the edges.
Okay. I think you know what? I'm going to make a little bit of an artistic. I think that sort of works just like that.
That's fine.
And I think I'm going to see about. I'm going to do some. Can I do like a little bit of a choice and give green eyes to the pumpkin? Is
Absolutely.
that? All right.
Do whatever you'd like. I love when people come to class too, and they have their own ideas, and they kind of make, maybe we had an Easter egg, and they did something different than what I did. I'm like, that's great. I want you to come to class and exercise your creative muscles.
Was that a hard pivot going from all the stocks and everything to then living in cookie world with children?
Yes, it was hard to find the time for everything, but we have figured it out. Luckily, my husband he's a Cincinnati firefighter, so he has a little bit of time to spend with them while I work more.
But I mean, that also means that he's out, the big long shifts and staying at the firehouse and everything, right?
Yeah. On those nights, I just work at night after the kids go to bed. I listen to audiobooks, and honestly, it's really nice.
Okay.
It's a nice little.
What have you had as far as challenges with the business, equipment issues or anything like that? You're just doing this out of the home, so how's your oven?
I think somebody must have told you about my oven.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A few weeks ago, my busiest week of the year, I had a ton of orders. I had cookie class. It was pretty hectic already. At about 3 a.m. on a Sunday, which was really 3 a.m. on Monday, I was up baking cookies, and I was standing at my bar cutting more cookies when there was a big flash and a weird noise from my oven, and it was because our heating element had died, but at the time I didn't know that, and it was 3 a.m. and my husband wasn't home, and I was like...
And it was a big boom.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. It's like, I can't deal with this right now. So I went to bed, and I was sitting there thinking, well, what am I going to do? And I didn't have that many cookies left, but when you don't have an oven and you have to special order a heating element, that's a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, I mean, are you reaching out to customers? Are you worried about losing the business at that point?
No, I was kind of brainstorming, and I have a friend who lives nearby, very nice, cleanly dudes. I said, hey, could I use your oven? And he said yes. Sorry, I was going to give you the orange to fill in your...
This pumpkin fill-in thing is not going well.
But yeah, he let me come over and use his oven, and all was well.
Okay.
So we made it through the week. I did have to pull quite a few 18-hour days, but
I mean, that's the nightmare, right? You got a bunch of orders, and then the oven dies. These are horrible stories for a business owner.
Yeah. But luckily, my husband ordered a new heating element. Everything was totally fine. Our oven is back up and running, and I'm baking in my own kitchen, so
okay,
we're
so
good.
Best Side Cookies still available, still taking your orders now. That's good.
Even better heating element now, so we're good.
Okay. Well, all right. My pumpkin's having a rough time. He's got a skin condition.
Pumpkin looks
and it's fine. He's doing his thing. Can we do the darker eyes for the ghost?
Yeah, we should be able to do that.
Okay. We should be able to do that. That's very optimistic of you.
Well, sometimes we like to leave like a 10 or 15 minute, little interval between. But I think he looks okay. He looks like we can start. And we can make this really easy and just do 2 circles, and then...
Okay, well, I'm going to try to take a little bit of a stab at something. I'm going to go for like a bit of a Pokemon vibe with this guy with some kind of crazy eyes. We'll see how this goes.
I love the creativity.
Yeah, because you're doing this out of your home and you're taking these custom orders, in terms of the way you market things, is that purely just with social media? Your Instagram page is spectacular.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, basically social media, word of mouth is great. I've got to meet a lot of people who are friends of friends who have become great customers, and some of my customers have become friends. So, and then through the cookie classes as well, you know, people leave with a cookie. That's awesome.
Thank you. See, you know what? I didn't want to brag on it, but I feel pretty
yours
good.
Might be better than mine.
Well, it's not about, you know what, Courtney, it's not about better. It's just about having a good time.
Exactly.
And we're happy about that.
I'm glad we're having fun.
Okay, so how can people find you if they are struck by all these different, boy, your pumpkin looks really good, darn it. If they are struck by how great all this stuff looks, where's the best place for people to find your work and how to order?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and actually TikTok as Best Side Cookies. Best Side is one word. Best Side Cookies. I also have bestsidecookies@gmail.com. You can email me, message me on social media. I'm out there.
Are you doing like TikTok trends, or are you like doing demonstrations on baking, or just still showing off the work?
Mostly just videos of the cookies that I've done, just showing off like, hey, this is what I did. There's a great cookie community on TikTok.
Bake Talk?
Yeah.
Right on. Courtney Kramer is the founder and owner of Best Side Cookies. Really, really great stuff here. Custom work. You got holidays. You got a family event coming up. Best Side Cookies. Courtney, thanks very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. We're going to take a break. Probably going to eat some cookies during that break. And there's more Working Lunch when we come back. Stick around. Look at those logos. Boy, those look good.
The Crown has you covered. Start your day with First Word, Cincinnati's only morning sports show. Power through midday with the Working Lunch, Cincinnati business talk that keeps you in the know. Nat tries that for lifestyle around the city, and the Rebound Rundown covers every corner of the college basketball scene in the tri-state and beyond. This is The Crown. First Word for your morning sports, Nat tries that for lifestyle around the city, the Working Lunch for business that hits home, and Rebound Rundown for college hoops. This city deserves its crown. Watch, listen, subscribe. Cincinnati sports fans are the best. Loyal, passionate, second to none. This city lives and breathes sports, and now it finally has a morning show to match. I'm James Rapine, and this is First Word, the only morning sports show in Cincinnati and the place where every day starts. We break down the biggest moments and set the agenda for the city. Marissa Contepelli and Jacob Tissett join me to bring the insight and energy you need to start your day. The conversation starts with First Word. First Word, weekdays 7 to 11, part of the Crown Network.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well, and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
On the radio here in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has always felt like home.
Right here on the Crown Network.
Out and about in Cincinnati, bringing you these stories that you need to hear in the Queen City.
You know, I don't like to compare myself to the greats, but this dude looks really good, and, you know, he tastes very good, too. That's going to go straight to my thighs. Give me 1 second. Welcome back to The Working Lunch. Do a few movies coming out this weekend. As we wrap things up on a Friday, I'm looking forward to A24's Anthony Bourdain biopic called Tony. Take a look.
Flaco, come here. Come here, please. Let me teach you this. So watch. You keep this towel between your hand and the blade, all right? Okay. So we go in like this. Yep. Okay. Cut the muscle, and then the shell will come out. And then you got the other side of the muscle, and that's it. So, 6 well fleet.
Seems like one of the more chill moments from that film based on the trailers that I've seen. This movie has been in limited release for a couple of weeks now. It's already made over $1 million, only running on about 36 screens. It's getting the wider release here this weekend. There's an article in Bon Appetit where people like Bourdain's brother and those who knew him talk about how he would have felt about this movie. They think he would have hated it. That doesn't necessarily mean the movie's bad. Anthony Bourdain was a complicated guy. People are complicated, and trying to boil their lives down to a snapshot in time that lasts for 100 minutes isn't going to leave a lot of room for that kind of nuance. But people should be reminded about Anthony Bourdain. He was a singular talent, a singular mind. We lost him too soon. In situations like this, I always want to point out, if you or someone you know is in crisis, the National Suicide Lifeline is 988. You can call or text. Anthony Bourdain famously wrote a love letter to Waffle House, so that means this shouldn't be the most jarring pivot in the world. I do have 2 words for you: Denny's catering. There it is. Denny's is partnering with EZ Cater. Hundreds of locations are now offering corporate catering choices. Should be at 1,000 restaurants offering those choices by the end of next month. It's the first major initiative of what Denny's calls Project Grand Slam. No, they're not trying to find life on a distant star. A Denny's growth roadmap is what that is, to improve restaurant performance and the guest experience. Guests can order directly on Dennys.com to buy group meals for offices, boardrooms, schools, celebrations, and other events where people gather. That's according to Denny's. Let's see what's on that catering menu. All right, well, let's see here. Grand Slam Buffet, Grand Slamwiches, build your own burger bars. You know what? I do not see the word moons over my hammy anywhere in this announcement. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. You can also get individually packaged meals, which is good news there. Check the website. Don't actually have any Denny's catering options close to the Cincinnati area yet. You can maybe take that as a threat. Only Denny's around here is on Walton-Verona Road in Walton, Kentucky. That could change as Denny's gets Project Grand Slam off the road, trying to get some growth with that company. I'd like to thank my guest, Courtney Kramer, who is the founder and owner of Best Side Cookies. That's a person who was on a certain life path, then the life path changed, and then took a change again with family, making some gourmet cookies, really gorgeous stuff, cookie classes, doing custom work. And if you need to do a Best Side Cookies working lunch collab, I'm sure we can probably work something like that out. Hit us up, cincycrown.com. Cincycrown.com is where you'll find all of our programming, certainly episodes of The Working Lunch, previous interviews, and more, along with First Word with James Rapine, not to mention Natalie Jones, Nat Tries That, The Nat Jones Show, and Paul Fritchner with the Rebound Rundown. I wonder what his cookie tastes like. I mean that in terms of the cookies that she brought in that have the logos on them. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Great week. See you back on Monday.